Have you ever wanted to learn about the man who tried to jump the St. Lawrence in a rocket car? The margarine bootleggers of Newfoundland? Or the time the royal family had a barbecue with a regular Manitoba family in 1970? I explore all of those stories and more on my podcast, Canadian History X. Over the course of over 500 episodes, I've delved into the good, the bad, and the weird of Canadian history. From the days when the Vikings landed and met the Indigenous to the Shawinigan handshake, I try and cover it all. What about politics? Well, on my podcast, From John to Justin, I look at our prime ministers, premiers, elections, opposition leaders, and governors general, and show how all of this shaped Canada to what it is today. More interested in hockey? Then I have Pucks and Cups, my podcast about the early years of hockey in Canada. On Canada's Great War, I delve into the First World War and how it completely changed Canada forever, beginning in 1914 and running until 1918. And lastly, if you want to learn about trains, then check out Coast to Coast, my look at the construction of Canada's transcontinental railway. All my podcasts are on all podcast platforms, ready to scratch whatever Canadian history itch you may have.
How do I start?
Like, hi everyone.
Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Minute Women podcast. My name is Grace.
And I say I'm Linnea.
And I'm Linnea. And I'm Linnea.
I literally was
Every time.
What do I say?
You smell burnt toast.
Doctor, I smell burnt toast. I dragged my ass out of bed for this picture. On Mondays, it's gonna be Margarita Mondays. Nationwide.
And feel that reciprocated enjoyment.
Oh my god! It's like we're friends or something.
Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Minute Women podcast. My name is Grace.
And I'm Linnea.
Coming to you from my apartment.
Coming to you from Grace's kitchen.
Grace's kitchen, which we've done Linnea's kitchen, so we're on a kitchen party tour.
The kitchen party tour
of Nova Scotia.
So short of Halifax so far. If you want us in your kitchen, let us know.
Oh my god, honestly, that would be a great live show vibe.
That would be so cool.
Private parties?
Yes. I bet Spencer and Hunter from the North Normal podcast would let us come. Yeah, I said that right. Yeah. Hunter's got two names, so I always confuse myself. I always think I've said
Andrew.
I always think I've said the wrong name. But no, Spencer's a person and Hunter Andrew is another person. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah. Well, it's just been a whirlwind week, so
really
we're just cross-eyed.
And it's Thursday.
It's only Thursday.
It felt like such a Friday.
Well, first of all, this is the first HYGAM of 2022.
Woo!
And new year, new us. Not really at all. I don't know. I feel like a good vibe though.
I feel such a good vibe for 2022. No,
maybe that's naive of us.
No, and I didn't. It's like the first year that I didn't make any crazy resolutions. I haven't held myself to anything. I'm just
Are you a big resolution person normally?
Vibing? No, but I wouldn't say big. It's not I don't need everybody to do it. But I just usually just make a couple for myself. But this year I was just just do you. Just do you, boo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually don't set resolutions because I'm whatever. But this year I did.
Oh, yeah.
And they've been going kind of okay. Granted, I think they're slightly lowball. But that's okay.
Yeah.
It's just I'm going to work out every day or get exercise every day.
Under promise, overachieve.
Exactly.
Under promise yourself.
And I already am I'm probably not going to do it. But so far I've done it. And we're a month in. And I feel like that's the hardest month to get through.
Yeah.
And then I have resolution to only cook meat once a week.
Okay.
So try and cut back on meat consumption. Yeah. And then I have a third one, which I can't remember. So
okay.
Clearly just succeeding. Oh, okay. Right. It was just to do more art hobbies and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, I did decide, it wasn't really a resolution. Maybe it was. But I just decided that I wanted to read more this year.
Oh, nice.
So, last year, I think I read an embarrassingly low amount of books. And, I mean, I'm also not a PhD student, so I only read for pleasure now.
Right.
And so no one's telling me that I have to read. So, therefore, there's lots of other things that I can spend my time on. But last year, I probably read, 6 or 7 books. Which is
that's more than me.
I feel like that's low. No, it's not. You probably read 35.
But for school, not for pleasure.
Yeah, probably 6. I probably read 6 books last year. But this year I've already read 2. It's only February, so I'm feeling real good.
See, my exercise one has miraculously resulted in me reading for pleasure.
Oh,
because
at the gym.
My thing is I just do the bike at the gym, and on the bike at the gym you can just read.
Yeah.
And so I have had a resolution to read more books every single year, and I never do it. And then I've already gotten through 2 books.
Yeah,
because I'm just I've got half an hour. And I don't want to listen to music, so
I'm trying to do less screen time. So that's like where
Yeah.
books come in. Because that's like less screen time before bed and like setting.
Yeah.
I do like, I've been working on like setting a routine, which like I like. So I'm like in a bit of a routine now, especially with like the new job. For those of you who didn't listen to the Lucy Montgomery episode, I'm in a new position.
She's in her work blazer right now. It's
I am.
very
I'm
intimidating.
in a work blazer, but with jeans. It's just casual.
A low
casual.
pony blazer,
Yeah.
pearl earrings. This woman is here for business and business alone.
It's not about pleasure for me.
Why are you entering the country? Business.
Business?
Look at me.
Look at this blazer.
I just imagine, because I'm sure you have to, because there's a bunch of times like when you go down to the border, like there's a lot of implications when you say you're there for business. There's like shit that actually
Drugs.
happens.
Drugs.
Well, no.
Okay.
But like sometimes a company will send you and they're like, just say it's for pleasure kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so imagine going in like a full business suit and they're like, what's the purpose of your visit? Pleasure.
With a briefcase.
And they're like, uh-huh. To do what exactly? You're in Cincinnati.
I just want to try out a coffee shop here. I heard it's a good one.
I heard the football team's doing very well.
Yeah.
It's like, they're in LA right now. I wasn't aware. Now I'm here for disappointment. Thank you.
Thanks for ruining my trip to Cincinnati.
Uh,
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're here with a HYGAM. Have you got a minute?
I've got one.
Okay.
A couple.
I have one, and I'm going to start with it.
Okay.
Okay, so Canada has just announced this new program that a few provinces have picked up on. Not Nova Scotia, where we are, sadly, but for our listeners, Ontario and further west, all the way to the west coast of BC, doctors and medical professionals are now allowed to prescribe PaRx Passes, like Canadian PaRx Passes.
That's cool, I think.
Okay, so I was laughing about this and I wouldn't tell Grace why, but what they've named it, do you have any guesses?
Oh God. So it's PaRx Passes for like mental health, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the vibe.
That's
Is
the
it
vibe.
a pun off of that?
Yes.
Parkscriptions?
No.
Dang it.
You know how RX is like prescription?
Yeah.
So it's
Parks.
PaRx.
No.
PaRx. Yeah, it is.
That's great.
Yeah,
though.
it is. But it's capital R. So it's capital P, lowercase a, capital R, X.
Does that translate in French as well? Is RX what you would put on a French prescription? It must be if they're
It must
doing
be
it.
if they're doing it that way. But yeah, so it was launched by the BC PaRx Foundation in actually 2020. But it's
okay.
just started making traction. We're probably hearing about it because 3 other provinces picked up on it just
Right.
recently.
And so is it provincial or federal parks?
So this says that it's federal. Yeah, it's through PaRx Canada.
Nice.
So PaRx was launched by the BC PaRx Foundation in 2020 and currently has over 1,000 registered prescribers. So not
Whoa.
huge,
But I mean, still.
the program is endorsed by BC Family Doctors, Saskatchewan Medical Association, Nurse Practitioners Association of Manitoba, and the Ontario College of Family Physicians. Now, so that's who's like kind of like organizing it and running it now. So the PaRx, PaRx.
If you forgot.
promotes spending at least 2 hours per week in nature for 20 minutes or more at a time. So a growing body of research is showing us, obviously, I feel like this is pretty standard, that spending time in nature can help treat anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges, as well as help prevent conditions such as diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. So there's lots of different reasons that this can be prescribed. And the PaRx Canada Discovery Pass, which usually costs about $72.25 for an adult,
It does.
can now be yours for free if you go to your doctor and they feel like that is suitable, like kind of treatment, something that they want to prescribe you. So healthcare professionals have to be registered with PaRx RX,
if you forgot.
but they simply check a box on a website when logging in, and then it allows them to use that as an official prescription. The program is expected to expand across every province and territory by the end of 2022. So it's coming.
That's cool.
It's coming your way.
So,
Yeah.
like, what are your initial thoughts on it? Because I have a lot of opinions about it. I think it is cool. That's my base, as I've said multiple times, if you forgot.
Yeah.
Baseline cool.
Yeah. I think that we're lucky that we live in a place like Canada where we have access to parks and a lot of outdoor space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the people who are probably going to be prescribed it are the least likely to use it.
Okay.
In some ways, like, I mean, if you're prescribing it to someone who has type 2 diabetes and, like, isn't into, like, physical activity at all, like, is just giving them a prescription that says, hey, like, you get to go to a park for free, is that actually going to get them to go to, like, Keji Park, like, in Nova Scotia? Or, so I don't know. I have a quick quote here by the Minister of Environment and Climate Change, who's the minister responsible for PaRx Canada, and he's very confident. So he says that he is confident that this program will quickly show its enormous value to the well-being of patients as it continues to expand throughout the country. So he's real excited. Okay. He thinks this is a great idea. I'm like a little bit, like, I think it's like a nice idea, but I don't know if it's actually going to make a world of change. Yeah, because so I do think it's a good idea, and I think it's a great way, especially if you are someone who would not have been able to afford a PaRx Pass. Yes. And especially if, like, you're a kid. Yeah. Like, you know, sometimes maybe this is, like, very boomer of me, but I'm like, you don't need to be on medications all the time. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes that's not the best form of therapy for everybody. Yeah. And so having something that's not going to have some kind of irreversible effect on you is a great first line of defense. Yeah. I did think, however, 2 thoughts, one of which is, how do I get one? Yeah. Because that's the kind of bad person I am. But then I'm also like, I'm sure there's a bunch of people out there. I was like, sweet, I'll wait for me to get a free PaRx Pass. True. So I wonder, like, what contingency plan there is, what kind of, like, and I'm sure they're probably like, this actually doesn't cost much to the insurance companies. Right. So who cares? It's way cheaper than giving you pharmaceuticals. Well, and kind of what I'm looking at is, like, if BC has given out 1,000 since 2020. That doesn't feel like a lot. Yeah. And I feel like in a place with a smaller population like Nova Scotia, maybe it is just a thing where doctors want to give them out. Like, if it's a, like, we want to be able to give these out so this program keeps running. True. Maybe you can be in line for one. Maybe, yeah. I can just go, I'm like, hey, doc, I'm big sad. Can I get a PaRx Pass, please? I think I need some fresh air. I think the fresh air will do me good. And then my other thought, though, was, and I think maybe you've addressed this sort of in what you just said, but, like, would you feel neglected if your doctor was just like, here's your PaRx Pass as a prescription? Yeah. Like, if you went in with not that intention and that's what you walk away with, you're like, wow, this doctor literally just told me to go outside. Yeah. I will say that I'm very, very lucky to have a family doctor who would never give out a prescription like that in a way that felt like condescending or dismissive. Right. Like, she's good people. Shout out to Dr. Can I say my doctor's name? Is that, like, confidential? I mean, to you. Yeah. I don't think it's confidential to anyone else. Well, her name's Tara Millen, and she's fantastic. Yeah. But, yeah, like, I feel like she wouldn't. Now I know that there are, like, in every profession, not every teacher's a good teacher, not every cop's a good cop, not every doctor is a great doctor. I know that there would be some where that would just be a thing. It's like they have a quota. It's like, oh, you have to give out 6 a month. So someone comes in complaining of something and they're just like, oh, here, Debbie, go outside. And I don't think that's okay. Yeah. I feel like it would be best delivered as, like, I'm giving you this, but also I'm giving you this PaRx Pass. Like, I think these things combined could have really positive effects for you. Yeah. Maybe. Hopefully. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But also, how can I get one? But without being big sad? Like, I want one. Because now I don't really work for PaRx Canada, so I used to get a free, like, employee one, and now I don't. And now you don't. I'm just a shitty grad student, so I don't get anything. We're all grown up. Just books. Just books. And knowledge. Knowledge. Yeah. Lots of knowledge. But you want a PaRx Pass. And, actually, a citation in the, like, so in Atlantic Canada, the biggest history journal is Acadiensis. Minute Women has been cited. What? It has a footnote because they did an article about Canadian history podcasts because, oh my God, academics have discovered podcasting. And are you serious? It's not good for my career because they know it exists now. Okay. They know this part of me exists somewhere in this dark little crevice where I just talk about myself. I'm just kidding. It was very nice. Very flattering. This is a surprise to me.
Yes,
I did
wanted
not
to
know
surprise you.
this. I did not
I
know
wanted
this.
to surprise you. But yeah, it's really cool. And they talk about our friend, Craig Baird, Canadian History X. He gets like a whole little write-up. We just got a footnote, but that's okay.
That's okay. What did it say?
It was in reference to, they were listing like a bunch of people do podcasts, faculty members, professors, enthusiasts, graduate students, and then
PhD
graduate
students.
students put a little 8. Then you go to 8 in the footnotes, and it's like, such as Grace McNutt and Linnea
That's
Steinemer.
so cool.
With the Minute Women podcast.
Oh, that's
we're
so
the
cool.
students.
I don't deserve that credit, but
You were student.
but you do.
But yeah, it was cool. And then
that's
I
so
was
cool.
like, this is my first Acadiensis citation. Not the master's research I did.
No, but you're
This
in a,
podcast we started on
you're
a
in a
whim.
book very recently.
Well, I got published in
She's in a book.
article.
Oh,
It's not a book. It's an
well,
article.
okay.
It's a journal.
It's a journal, but it's
still.
in a book form.
Yes.
I held it and it felt like a book.
Yeah, journals for like academic stuff, which I didn't know until recently because I only ever accessed journals online.
Yeah.
They get printed like books, not like
Yeah.
a magazine.
No, it looks like a softcover book, like a
Yeah.
glossy softcover.
It is.
That's-
I
yeah,
can see it. It's on
touched
my
it.
shelf.
Yeah, I looked at it where it said your name, and Eric was like, buddy, read this. Like one of the, I can't remember when you weren't here, and I can't remember why. He's like, read this, buddy, you gotta read this.
It's a good book. It's
And
good
I was
literature.
like, oh, Grace,
It me.
published.
Yeah, no, our podcast popping off, let me tell you. I will say January was one of
Yeah.
our best months ever for downloads, and
Thank
we
you.
didn't release any content. Internet, I'm just so confused.
The
Just help me
algorithms
out.
make no sense.
Like, help me help you.
So,
what
do
do you
you-
want from us? Nothing?
Do you
Evidently.
think it has anything to do? Because the only correlation that I can see, other than what my horoscope tells me, no, for reals though, is that Spotify now allows reviews. And so
Maybe.
is Spotify now more relevant in the algorithm? And like, because that's a new feature that happened and we're on Spotify, did something like that happen?
Maybe.
Is it like Spotify was like
maybe
the
we're just more visible
tsunami,
because of
and
that?
now that's like a little ripple over here.
Potentially, because
Okay.
like proportionately our listens haven't changed much per platform, right? Like Apple, similar. This is super
Right.
interesting to everybody. Just to know our analytics. But on Apple Podcasts is the podcast platform we get the most listens on, and
Yeah.
Spotify is usually a second, and a distant second, like
Yeah.
everything else. And it still is like that, but it might just be. I mean, we were in Reader's Digest.
We sure
for people who missed that,
were.
so it might be reviews and Reader's Digest, and the fact that we released a lot of content in the month of December, that just had a ripple effect into January. That would be my guess.
Yes, I'm talking about Reader's Digest. A big, huge, amazing thank you to Morgan Lytle, who
It was
wrote
such
the
a nice
article.
little article.
Like, oh, what a sweet guy.
Yeah.
So nice. And yeah, like super happy to have him even know that we exist or who we are. And to be the first one kind of on the docket there, which is very exciting, along with some other really great podcasts, including our friend Craig with Canadian History X, but Fireside Canada, which I've recently been listening to. Very good. Yeah.
Nice.
Really cool.
Cool Canadian History is a good
Cool
one.
Canadian history is
Yeah.
cool. We're not that cool.
We're not that cool. Yeah. But also thank you to Reader's Digest, because they reached out to us afterwards, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
noted that they had used our old cover art by
Yeah.
accident, and they were just like, we are so sorry about that.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh,
it was
thanks.
really sweet.
That's
So,
really nice.
so I've sent along our new cover art. It doesn't look to be changed yet, but that's okay.
That's okay. We're fine.
It's just like the
It was a genuine thank
The
you,
genuine-
not a
yeah.
passive-aggressive one.
no, not at all. The fact that they even like reached out at all, I thought was really sweet.
Yeah.
and thoughtful, like very considerate. So Canadian.
So Canadian.
Like, oh my god, I'm
Reader's
so
Digest.
sorry.
In a last piece of podcast news, though, I received a very funny email, and I would just like to share it with
Okay,
everyone.
I'm excited.
So we've recently added our contact information to our website. So before, when you went to our website, you could see like our social media links, but now there's like an actual form. So if you go to the website, you can like directly email us. And I got an email, which I don't, because it came to my email. So I don't know if they sent it to me because they found my email somehow. But anyways, it's from someone named Aaron. He works with a podcast marketing
Okay.
company.
Okay.
And so it opens with, What's Kraken?
No, it doesn't.
It does, indeed. Kraken spelled CRACK''N, which I've never seen Kraken spelled like that.
I would have went with a CRACKIN apostrophe.
Yeah, if you're gonna apostrophe it,
If you're gonna
Not there.
size, yes,
Yeah.
that's weird.
and if that's the opening line. I have so many questions. So basically he's sending us a pyramid scheme. But
Okay.
he explains that he has an idea that he can explain in 10 minutes, but not in this email. In just 10 minutes, he can explain this concept, but not right now. That will get us 1,500 new subscribers a month for only $2 a subscriber. That's $3,000,
Yeah.
Aaron. That's not a good deal. Like, he must mean subscription to the service.
Yeah, does he mean like we get $2 from each of them?
It must mean that. It's that, or we pay $2 and we can get 1,500 subscribers.
Oh, yeah.
It's poorly laid out.
Yeah, okay.
I'm already confused.
We're already confused.
This is constructive criticism, Aaron, by the way. He said, and I'm talking targeted US, Canada, Australia, UK, NZ subscribers. You know, those good English-speaking white subscribers. You know, not from any of those other weird places. That we find by putting your ad in front of any podcast that you want to target.
Wow.
It's also very, targeting marketing is very, like, assassination language.
Yes.
It's like, where do I put the red dot? Between whose eyes does this bullet descend? We use this method to help our clients grow fast and monetize.
Are these in capitals?
This new
like,
audience.
Is there a
Oh.
reason you're yelling this?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
All caps.
Okay. ...
Most of the paragraphs end with ...
Okay. I can't tell if he's a boomer or if he's like 16. Like, I'm really confused.
I don't know. It then proceeds to go on how we should, like, schedule a quick 10-minute call with him.
Where he can tell us what he can tell us in 10 minutes.
Where he can tell us the thing that he can tell us
Yeah.
in 10 minutes, but not in this email. And so he just, like, wants us to reply to the email. Spots are limited, so we should get on board fast. And yeah, that's Aaron from Missouri. So thank you for the fan mail this week.
We got another email, though. I thought you were going to talk about the email that came to Minute Women Podcast.
What's that one?
Because although it is thrilling as Aaron's email.
We've made a huge mistake by adding a form to our website.
Yeah.
Because now we get bombarded with targeted marketing strategies.
Pyramid schemes.
But who knows? Maybe we now have a new segment where we read out all of the really interesting ways that people talk to podcasters. Because there's a certain vibe to it.
Oh, there's a vibe.
Yeah. They have to
What's
make
cracking?
What's cracking, guys? It's our new podcast intro. Hey guys, what's cracking? It's Grace. Welcome to Minute Women Podcast.
Yeah, that's too much. that's so much. Oh, I haven't had enough salt today.
Fucking old woman. Haven't had enough salt today.
It's true. When I have enough salt, my ring stays on top. When I don't have enough salt, it rolls around because I'm not like
Puffed up. I'm not swelly.
Yeah. I can always tell.
Well, we better go get some salt and Linnea. You can have another slice of pizza.
I might. Actually,
We had some really great pizza from Yaya's.
the sodium in sparkling water is actually higher than you might think.
That and more next time on the Minute Women Podcast. Are you okay? What do you mean? Like it's higher than water?
Apparently, yes. Something to do with the bubbles.
Okay, Nancy Grace.
Do you mean Nancy Drew?
No, Nancy Grace.
Who's Nancy Grace?
She goes on the
Who's
Fox
Nancy
News.
Grace?
She goes on Fox News. She's like, those kids got murdered by their dad. You know?
No, I don't think I
Google it.
do. I will. Oh, I can't breathe.
Okay. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Minute Women Podcast. Linnea, where can they find us in the meantime?
They can find us at www.minutewomenpodcast.ca, and that has links to our merch, this wonderful email link we've thoroughly enjoyed talking to you about, and it also includes the link to all of our social media, our Instagram and Facebook and Twitter.
And you can check out a new episode every Wednesday. we're still here. So we're not going anywhere. You can review the podcast. Please do that on Apple Podcast. You can also now do it on Spotify.
Rate,
for all
review, subscribe.
Our Android listeners. And yeah, we'll catch you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye. Hold for train. That is the most Canadian thing that's ever happened. Via rail going by in the background. It never runs.
It never runs.
And of course it goes when we're recording.